Wappa 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 wappa. Hello and welcome to a brand new video. What is she doing just staring up at the roof talking away? Anyway, the Nightmare of Ashihama has been released and it does not disappoint, lads. This is probably the best boss I've ever fought. I've been having a blast the first day of release. This is only day 2, but we're going through all the clips I got yesterday while I was killing it. I found some really cool unique mechanics and stuff that I don't think anybody's put up on YouTube yet. So we're going to show you all the mechanics I have found in the first day. I did complete possibly the first ever geo. I don't know if anybody else has actually geoed it yet. But yeah, I'm going to throw loads of clips into this video. Hope you guys like it. Let's get started with the Nightmare of Ashihama content. So the timer went live just 30 minutes until the boss came out. I started things off by smashing out 76 prayer. It's an endurance boss. If you don't have high prayer levels, highly recommend training that before you go there. Maybe not up in the high 70s, but at least get up to like 60 plus prayer before hitting it, because it is a long boss fight if you're doing it right. There is big masses with like 80 people there, but the drop table at the Nightmare is really weird. Every single drop is trash apart from the uniques, right? But it can only ever drop one unique per kill, so if there's an 80 man mass going, only one person out of that 80 is going to have a chance of getting a unique. It's really strange. So the best way to do this boss is in a small team between 4 and 6 people. You don't need any more than that, and it scales up and gets harder the more people are in the room. I'm not going to lie though, the first few hours after this boss was released was so fun. There was like hundreds of people in every single world, everybody trying this boss. It was kind of shocking, the loot though. You only get like 15 Laurens, but the main problem with a massive mass like this is that their shield, look at how much health she has, 15,600 in a big mass, whereas if you go in a small team, she only has like 2,000 to 3,000 health. It's way easier to deal with, and it's much higher chances of you getting one of those uniques. And the uniques are why we're here, let's be honest. Like, one lad got really lucky, bought a Nightmare staff for 1 bill and then sold it for 1.1 bill. Can you imagine that? A 1.1 bill profit flip. Pretty crazy. Loads of people have got items already, and I'm going to go through the best possible gear that I think. There is actually 2 different ones depending how you like to play the game. 2 different ways to actually fight this boss that are completely different, which is pretty funny. But yeah, the mechanics of the boss are pretty simple. You basically want to dodge those big black holes in the floor. They completely wreck you, hit 50s. You need to stay inside the green box whenever it does that thing where it splits the room in 4. You hit down her full shield whilst dodging her mage and range attacks. There's 2 different ones. It's kind of like Jad, and then once she's like down, her full shield's been hit off. You just need to kill all the pillars, and then straight after the pillars hit these ghosts. If there's a big team of people, right, loads of these ghosts spawn, they all run into the middle, and the more that get to her in the middle, the more damage it'll hit you for. It's pretty funny actually. If none of them get killed, like if every single ghost mixed it to the middle, she can hit you for 115. Pretty crazy. There is one more attack that caught me out, which is in the final phase only. She does this one where she runs across the room, but it's really easy. You can either dodge it or you can just keep your HP above 55. It actually caught me out really bad, because usually in full Justiciar you can just tank all the range hits and they very rarely hit you. But she hit me at 30, it was like a 54 with the black hole, then a 55, 33, 31, just got absolutely comboed out. Usually in Justiciar it's really easy just to like avoid everything, but yeah, watch out for that in the final phase where she runs across and hits people, or just in the last phase, keep your hit points really high and you'll have no problems at all. Right, anyway, I was going to tell you about the gear, sorry getting distracted. There's 2 different ways to deal with the Nightmare. Any other boss in the game has just one way to deal with it that's the best possible way, the most efficient way to kill it, but the Nightmare actually has 2 different ways. The first way that I am using and that I think is much better is just to wear full Justiciar with the Brimstone Ring, an Amulet of Fury and Guardian Boots. These here are way better than Prims because they give plus 24 range defense and they have plus 3 strength, so they're not far off. The Prims have plus 5, right? So you lose a little bit, but it just means you have 377 range defense. It means you can just pray mage the entire fight and you will not take much damage from the range attack, meaning you do not have to flick prayers, you don't have to mess around. You will eat a wee bit more, but not that much, and everything else in there won't deal as much damage on you, the parasites, the husks, all that other stuff. The other method, the one that has slightly higher DPS and it's slightly faster, is to wear full bandos. You can use a scythe or the best possible crush weapon, a bludgeon. You can even use a cudgel with a defender, anything like that. You need your best crush weapon, full bandos. That one's really good, but you have to pray flick all the time. It's like fighting Jad, and if you're doing that for a few hours, you'll just get carpal tunnel. This way, just really chilled, a little bit slower, but yeah, much more AFK, much more relaxed. So I'm going to stick with this method. But here's a funny one, the best possible spec weapon. You're probably thinking, oh, Dragon Warhammer, BGS, anything like that, because it's really strong. There's the stats on the screen. It's got really high slash defense and really high stab defense, so most special attack weapons are useless there. But I find the best possible one in the game is actually claws, which is really strange. It is a slash weapon, and if you're just hitting it without the special attack on, you'd only have 30% accuracy. I put it into a damage calculator, but if you have the special attack turned on, it goes up to 79% accuracy. This here slice and dice special attack, it says 4 hits in quick succession with great increase of accuracy, or with great accuracy. I had no idea how much accuracy boost that is, but it's pretty crazy. You just will not miss with the Dragon Claw spec. Well, you'll miss 1 out of 5, you know, 4 out of your 5 special attacks are going to hit and are going to do loads of damage, especially in a small team. If you're in a bigger team, his slash defense scales and gets higher and higher, meaning any spec weapon's pretty bad. But because its defense can't go lower than 120, you can only lower it 30 levels and it'll tick back up over time. You definitely want to go with the claws. If you're in a 5-man team, you could do 1 person with the Dragon Warhammer, because as soon as you hit 1 Dragon Warhammer spec, no more special attacks from the Dragon Warhammer will do anything for the next 90 seconds. Well, they will take like 1 or 2 defense levels off as it regains, but it goes up really fast and you can only lower it 30 defense levels. Don't worry about it, just go with claws. Right, so just to recap, 2 possible ways to kill this boss. Full Justiciar with the highest range defense you can get. Full Bandos is slightly more DPS but a lot more work. Here in the background is just a clip of me and my boy Orbcheck with the first ever duo that I know of. There probably was more people because we're pretty trash, but I know that loads of worlds were full. There was very few worlds within the first few hours that had this small a team. What actually happened was 4 people came in and the other 2 seen it was such a small team that they left really early on. So me and Orbcheck were stuck here with like a tiny bit of damage off the first phase, thinking, oh, we're never gonna like get through it, but we may as well give it a go. We'd worked out how to like do the prayer flicks, what to do in each phase, and once you get it down to a T, you can flick and take very little damage, which is pretty cool. I think somebody will solo this very, very quick, because I'm not good at PVM, and still me and this boy managed to pull off one of the first ever duos within a couple of hours. So as people learn a better method for it and all, there'll definitely be people like Wooks coming out with solos. I did try a solo, and I got to the 3rd phase and then just got completely destroyed. But I wasn't even in the best gear, you know, people with a scythe might have much better chance to do it. The thing is though, it doesn't start scaling its stats until like 5, I think. This is what it says in the wiki now. So once you hit a 5-man team, that there's the minimum stats. So if you have a team of 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5, they'll have the same stats. I haven't confirmed this now, that's just what I've seen in the wiki. I probably should have checked that before making this video. Actually, what I'll do is check it after I finish rendering and then stick it at the top of the comment sections. But I think, from what I gathered off the wiki, is the stats will be the same in a 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5-man team, and then from there on it scales and gets harder and harder. So there'd be no point in doing a solo or even a duo apart from that bigger split, you know, more profit. I did have a crack at it though, just for bragging rights. So here's my first attempt, day 1. This was last night, like on the first day of release, trying a solo. I did alright, like. I'll put some dramatic music in here and we'll see how we get on. There we are, lads, first ever Nightmares Out. I'm only messing with these, that was only the first phase. I'm sure Wooks will get one out soon. I did finish off all the pillars and all that, but I used up too much supplies. I did notice there, looking back at this clip though, 3 boys entered at the start in like no gear. I think they're alts. What they do is they stand outside the nightmare, and if anybody comes to try and use that world, they'll go in and ruin it for them just to lock that world down while they bank. Really annoying. But that was scaled to 4 and I managed to complete the first phase. So if it was scaled to 1, probably would have got through it anyway. I don't know, I think Wix will do a solo very soon. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'm loving the boss. I'm definitely going to get out some more Nightmare content soon. I'm going to grind it out and try get one of these new items, because they're just a crazy price at the moment. Near enough every single one of the items, apart from the Jar of Dreams, is it called? Yeah, the Jar of Dreams, is the only one that isn't worth like nearly a bill, if not over a bill. So yeah, gonna grind that out. Thank you all so much for watching. If you want to do some Nightmare, just hop in the CC, it's there on the screen. And I'll catch all you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.